Hey guys, it's Coach B. Wiley. For the single women who are struggling while single, I want to let you know about two types of guys when dating. There are generally going to be two types of guys that you meet. The first kind of guy is going to be genuinely interested in you. He's going to see you for who you are. He's going to see your worth. He's going to see that you love yourself. He's going to see that you take care of yourself. He's going to know for certain that you have self esteem, you have confidence, you have wisdom, you're smart, you look good, you take care of yourself, you take care of your children if you have them, you're respectful, and you're a woman of great character. He's going to see these things and he's going to know that in order to be with a woman like you, he's going to have to be man enough to challenge his own self, to step up to the plate in order to be able to hold the responsibility of the relationship. And what I mean by that is if a man like this sees you, he knows he can't come to you with any old game. He knows that he can't BS you. He knows that he can't use the same old tired game that he's been using with all these other women that he's come across. He knows for certain that you will call him out on his nonsense. He also knows that he literally can't come to you with nonsense because it's not even going to be worth your time or his time, and everybody is just wasting time. That is the first kind of guy. And a lot of the time, not all the time, when you meet this kind of guy, he will decide that this is too much. He's not where he needs to be emotionally, spiritually, financially, or whatever the case may be in his mind. He will decide you're too much, and not in a negative way, but just you're too much for what he's bringing to the table. Whatever it is that he's bringing, you're going above and beyond that. And for him to meet you where you're at, he has to make some changes. Changes that he know he needs to make, changes that he's willing to make. I don't know. Changes that he wants to make at the moment with you, probably not. And that's why he went from hot to cold. Everything in about other women. Just because a guy isn't interested in you after a while, after he's been consistent, after he's been doing all the right things, asking all the right questions, being respectful, dating you, pursuing you, calling you every day, and then he just goes flat, that doesn't mean that it has anything to do with another woman or that he just wanted to sleep with you. That just means he sees you. And where he is at that moment, he can't compete with it. So he's just going to bow out. He's just going to bow out. And there's nothing wrong with guys like that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just telling you about the two kind of guys. The other kind of guy is the guy, he's to pick you up and put you down. He sees you as just something to do. He doesn't necessarily see your worth. He almost sees you as something good to look at for the most part. If he gets around to it, then sure. However, outside of that, he really doesn't value you just in general. He knows you're a woman and he knows he should be respectful and he'll be cool and probably take you out maybe once or twice. Outside of that, he's generally not going to be making you his priority. He'll speak to you when he speaks to you, and if he don't, and if he doesn't feel like it, he won't. Just because he's just not interested. And no matter what the other guy saw in you, and these are men, right? And you're wondering why, well, why could the first guy see me for who I am? But the second guy, he treat me like I'm just any old piece of trash rolling in the wind. Why is that, fellas? Y'all can answer that in the comments. So y'all want to comment on everything. However, why is that? And then this kind of guy, if you run into this guy enough, you will then be start questioning yourself. Like, why does he want to pick me up and put me down and just take what I'm dishing out versus doing what guy number one would do and genuinely try to get to know me? What I want you to understand is that these two type of guys shouldn't stop you from being you. If you know you're worthy, if you know your worth and you love yourself unconditionally, if you know that you love yourself to the point where you refuse to settle, and if you know that you're smart enough to learn from previous experiences and not settle and make those mistakes then keep putting one foot in front of the other. And when these guys come about, they just gonna come. Your job is to, no matter how much you build yourself up, you still get what you get. And sometimes it's just a distraction. So when guy number one shows up and you're having a good time, you're getting to know him, he's getting to know you, and things seem to go really well, and it's been like a month or two, and then he flatlines, let him flatline and let him stay there. When guy number two comes around and he's not genuinely interested, I've said genuine 1,000 times. Literally, do a ticker for how many times I said genuine. And he's not genuinely interested, and you're always questioning, okay, what's going on here? He seems cool, he seems interested, but if that but keeps coming up, get your butt out of there and go on about your life. So whether you get guy A or B, it doesn't matter. What does matter is you let neither one of them pull you down, make you question yourself, or, and most importantly, distract you. So those are the two type of guys that you're going to run into as you're single, because these things happen. There's all kind of guys that you can run into, but these are just a couple. The ones that sees you like Christ sees you, I say like Christ sees you. And then there's the other one who just sees you and sees through you because he's looking on down the road at another woman. All right? Let me know how you feel about this video. Let me know if you got it in the comments, if you're ready to keep it moving regardless of which man you meet. All right, guys. Talk to you later.